Hello everyone, it is Sunday afternoon, 19th of April 2020. I hope you're all staying home and staying safe and taking this coronavirus seriously. Obviously we're all trying to keep the spread, curb the spread so that it doesn't get out of control. And so everyone, I hope, who's listening in tonight is being sensible about this. So I'm having a look at commodities, starting off with gold. I'm just taking note of this weekly rejection candle of gold at that 1700 level. Overall, I'm principally bullish on gold. Okay, so the monthly candle looks really nice. It has managed to work its way up towards 1750. That is significant in terms of historic support resistance levels, especially because this is now bringing it up towards recent highs, meaning at least in the last decade. But certainly we are coming up towards all-time highs, and I'll be taking notes as we head towards 1800. Prices pull back into the moving averages, and I'm looking for a bullish candle to form here on Monday or Tuesday. Excuse me. And I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long. I am looking at this bearish candle and this level here, but I'm certainly considering the idea of, in every other respect, this looks really nice and bullish, and I'm interested in taking an opportunity, trading opportunity to towards 1800. But just noting that rejection, which is always a little bit painful to get a signal on one chart and on another. This now looking at silver. Silver looks very similar to Aussie US dollar, Aussie dollar, US dollar, Kiwi dollar, US dollar, and sort of sterling cable against the US dollar. A lot of them are doing a weekly retracement, producing a bearish candle, but at the same time on the daily they've got an uptrend. It's a similar scenario here. There's a historic monthly level of support. Price is now attempting to work its way away from that, and so I'm going to be monitoring that daily trend to see it, ideally to see it continue to trend upwards. But at the same time, I have to keep an eye on this weekly, because there is this contradiction between the potential for the weekly to head lower and the potential for the daily to head higher. As it is one of those kind of wait and see. The perfect conditions, or better conditions for me, are when the weekly and the daily are trending in the same direction. That isn't the case at the moment. Looking at copper, copper's got a very gentle trend to the upside. It's still retracing from within its downtrend, certainly back up towards key levels of support and resistance, likely to head up towards 2.6. So that is worth a consideration. There may well still be opportunities to the upside, but I'm keeping an eye again on that weekly potential for further downside. Again here as well, should price come down at on platinum and break these previous lows without producing a bullish candle, I'm likely to lean towards it starting to head lower. Palladium, having managed to recover quite well after it was really well overextended on those monthly timeframes, not really going anywhere at the moment, and it's consolidating effectively. I'm not seeing any trading opportunities here. I'll be looking to see if we break below this low here towards 2,000, and then alternatively break up towards a higher. So basically I needed to get outside of this range and start to trend. Right now I'm not seeing much happening there. I'll have a look again next week. Then moving on to Brent crude. So this is where it gets really interesting for me on oils. West Texas Intermediate and Brent are showing bullish divergence. Okay, so this is usually an indication that price is attempting to change direction. It's become a bit exhausted. It has two options that it can either consolidate for a while and then head lower, or it can change direction. It's well overextended, or very overextended on the weekly timeframes. It's overextended sufficiently on the monthly. So a retracement from this, especially because it's sitting at key levels, a retracement upwards towards 40 does make sense. I've said that in, I think I said that 2 weeks ago. I was looking to see price head up towards, at least towards 40, 42, and the potential for that is still there. It didn't follow through. It wasn't a really strong trend. Oil is still weak. But there is definitely bullish divergence, all right? And this becomes even more apparent when looking at West Texas. Although we have produced sequential lows here, you can see that both indicators are climbing. And again, it is overextended to the downside. So I still do see that potential. So what this leaves me with is an inability to, or at least increased risk trading into the downside, at the same time waiting for it to produce enough evidence that it is now has decided it's going to climb. So it is a bit more of a wait and see. If I do see a setup to the downside, I just will accept that there's increased risk, because this is now indicating to me that it's becoming a little bit exhausted. Combining that with the fact that it sits at historical low levels of support, there is a real possibility that it can actually bounce from there. Moving on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's looking nice and bullish. This is really nice bullish price action. It has no clear trend on the weekly, but it is looking quite bullish, certainly heading up towards 8,000. The monthly as well, rejecting those lows. So again, there's an interesting correlation between a digital commodity such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as physical commodities such as oil and precious metals. Having a look at Ethereum's even more bullish. So for me, there's absolutely trading opportunities on the lower time frames here. The 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour to the upside on Ethereum. If that sort of thing is your bag, baby, there's real opportunities there. So that's it from me. The ones I like the most that I'll be looking for opportunities on will be the cryptos. Oil, I'll be looking to see if we do change a trend on that. Gold, keep an eye on that. And again, with the rest, I'm looking to see what happens between that daily and weekly, the daily uptrends and the weekly potential for further downside on the weekly.